When it comes to PPE, a lot of people forget that the P stands for personal. I think to get further into this, I need an expert. Jim, that's where you come in. Why is it so important to remember that that first P stands for personal?
That's a great question, Kurt. Keeping personal protective equipment or PPE personal is important for a couple of reasons. One of those being workers need to make sure they're wearing the proper PPE for the task at hand and the hazards present. Those workers need to take their safety personally and make sure that they're wearing the gear that's provided to them. But there's another way to look at that, and that's really making sure that the gear that's provided to them is the correct size and fit for that user. And if the PPE doesn't fit correctly, it can be just as dangerous as really not wearing any protection at all. So an example, safety glasses, if they don't fit right and they're pinching into the temples or they're falling off when they're bending down, they can remove those, and that's where an injury can occur.
You mentioned the safety glasses, and it just reminds me of, man, Jim, you're going to hate me for this story, but when it comes down to safety glasses, I had them on for the whole project except for one cut, and that one cut, a piece of plastic went flying off right past my head.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
It is that moment. You're absolutely right that it's that moment that people need to keep them on. They need to be comfortable enough to wear all the time. You can't be thinking that, oh, you know what, this cut, it's just a small cut. I'll be fine. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a different question, kind of same vein, but how can workers tailor how can the gear be specific to them?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go through some steps that can be followed and then offer a little further comment at the end. But yeah, there's really 6 steps, and I'll rip through these. Identify the specific hazards and risks associated with the work. Number 2, select safety gear that's designed to protect against those hazards. Number 3, ensure that the gear, kind of similar to what we talked about before, fits properly and comfortably so it doesn't hinder any movement. That's a big one because most times companies provide safety gear that fits the spec, but the workers need to be advocate for what fits right to them, the comfort that fits the performance. Number 4, consider specialized gear for that task at hand. So if you're working outdoors in low light conditions, high visibility clothing, if you're working in a hot environment, heat stress gear. If you're working in a cold environment, maybe heated gear, keep you warm. Number 5, regularly inspect and maintain that safety gear to ensure its effectiveness and integrity. And number 6, provide training to the workers on the proper use, care, and limitations. By taking those steps, workers can optimize their safety gear and match the demands of the work. And then that final statement, PIP has a full offering of safety products and expertise to address that fit, comfort, and performance.
Right. Comfortable, safe, and with all of your digits in some cases. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Jim, I stole a stat from you guys at PIP. I hope you don't mind. Almost 40% of occupational lacerations and cuts occur past the wrist. That stat is just absolutely crazy to me. What can people do to stop that?
Don't mind you stealing our stat, and I agree that number, Kurt, is staggering.
Yeah.
We have a campaign called Safety Doesn't End at the Wrist. And as a leading manufacturer of cut-resistant gloves and sleeves, we've tried to make the process of finding the right glove and sleeve combination as easy as possible. No matter the industry, the application, the hazards present, PIP has the right yarn blend to meet the worker's arm protection specs. Finding the right arm protection can be overwhelming considering there's so many combinations of yarn blends that are available. So we've created a custom arm protection online sales tool. I know that's a mouthful, which should be found on our website. It all starts with the application. We've subcategorized the most optimal engineered yarn blends based on common applicational tasks and hazards workers face in the industries we serve. If you're not 100% certain of the protective features and functional benefits each yarn blend provides, we've created a yarn technologies comparison chart. That'll help you quickly identify a solution that meets the exact level of durability, cut resistance, heat protection, cost, and other specs that make choosing the right sleeve for the job a lot easier.
Jim, that is a lot. I appreciate it, and I have taken more than enough of your time. Thank you for talking.
Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate the opportunity to answer these questions and help educate your audience.